The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Sean, what was your question, by the way? You said you also had a question.
I've been doing a lot of reading recently on the idea of citizenship and Ted Cruz and Obama and where they come from. And if I'm correct, you being a Canadian are a citizen of the British Empire. And if that's the case, my father was born in 1907 in Ireland before it was free. So he was a citizen of the British Empire. Does that mean
yes.
I am one too?
Yeah. Now, the phrase you're searching for, Sean, is Her Majesty's Dominions. Basically, if you're born within Her Majesty's Dominions, you're a British subject. And the relevant bit of legislation here, off the top of my head, is the 1948 British Nationality Act, which declared that a quarter of the world's population were British subjects. And in effect, Canadian citizenship or Australian citizenship were subsets of British nationality. And if you were born in colonial Kenya, like Barack Obama's father, you were just a British subject, pure and simple. If you were born in Canada, until I think it was 1977, in a Canadian passport, it used to say a Canadian citizen is a British subject. And then the preferred term now is Commonwealth citizen, because it sounds less imperialist. But you're basically right that Ted Cruz, Barack Obama, and I are all members of the same club, as was your dad, Sean.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's good. I didn't get. Do you know, I've had so much email about the Ted Cruz things. I make no claim to be an expert in America in the constitutional requirements for president, and also the American definition of natural-born citizen, which are controversial subjects. But it's interesting to me that, as Sean pointed out, if you were born anywhere within, and that's still true. In fact, if you look at Australia, for example, the new Prime Minister in Australia, marvelous man, strong conservative, strong. I would love for a guy like Tony Abbott to get elected president here, but he can't. But Tony Abbott was actually born in England, and he's now Australia's Prime Minister, and he succeeded Julia Gillard as Australia's Prime Minister, and she was born in Wales. So if Sean is right to point out that if you were born within Her Majesty's Dominions, you're all members of the same club. By the way, as was every American president, they were either a British subject or the child of a British subject until President Van Buren. I think he was the first president not to be either a British subject or the child of a British subject. So I don't know whether Sean is trying to get some one-man Bertha thing going here with the Ted Cruz phenomenon. Some people, I don't quite know the situation here. As I understand it, Ted Cruz's father was born in Cuba, and he took U.S. citizenship, I think, 6 or 7 years ago, something like that. But I had some email to the effect that he actually also took Canadian citizenship while he was up in Canada. So so I don't know where this is going, but the fact is that if you're born outside the United States, you have to meet that definition of natural born, which I assume would mean you were born to U.S. parents of one kind or another. So Ted Cruz, there may be method to him renouncing Her Majesty the Queen and all her ways. So we'll see how that works out.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.